Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another daily life and adventure of Ben. Today we are cooking and we are making melt in your mouth potato slices. Now the stuff we need is one bowl of about 6 tablespoons of butter, parsley, that will come later, ground thyme, oregano, pepper, salt, and of course potatoes and garlic. Now we're going to start on the butter first because the butter is the first thing we are going to do with this recipe. So the first thing we're going to do is take the butter and we're going to add the instructions as usual. Get our mixing spoons. And the first thing we're going to need is 1 teaspoon of thyme. So yeah, we're going to get this is a tablespoon, half teaspoon. Here we go. 1 teaspoon of thyme. Let's take off the top. Oh, that's about good. Let's put that in with the butter. And then we're gonna need half a teaspoon of oregano. I don't care, as a little bit gets in there. There. Who cares? It's just spicing. I don't know. It might be a problem, but yeah, I know some of y'all said it's best not to mix spices over the bowl, but I'll try better next time. But I would say don't do what I just did. Okay, next thing we're going to need is 1 teaspoon of salt. Yeah, here we go. 1 teaspoon. Then add the salt, as so. Put that in with them, put that in. And then half a teaspoon of pepper. This thing's a pain. There we go. Oh, there we go. All right, and those are the spices for now. So I didn't show it, but another thing we need to add is garlic, the cloves to the mix. And now we're gonna put this in the microwave for about 2 minutes and let it melt all together, and then we're gonna go on to our next step. All right, so now we have the butter melted right here and everything mixed in with it. Now the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna cut the potatoes, and these are pretty small yellow potatoes, and we're gonna cut them pretty much like this, about 1/3 of an inch, roughly is what the size is. So you cut them up as so. Not too thin, but not too thick at the same time. Just like that. Just nice. Just good. So yeah, just about that, and that's a perfect cut for the potato. All right, so we have all of our potatoes done. All of them are cut. They're not done, they're cut. And we're gonna take about a handful of potatoes, and we're gonna put them in with the melted butter. And then we're gonna take a fork and just kind of like mix them around. Like so. Make sure they're really good and mixed in there. All right, that should be good. And once we have our potato, we're just gonna add them to the pan. And as you see, you'll just keep doing this. You'll just do exactly as I'm doing over and over again until every potato is marinated in the butter and spices and is added to, a little too much spice on there, is marinated in this butter and spice, and then will be added to the pan. Try not to get too much spice on these because I don't want to get too much sucked out of the bowl. I guess some things are unavoidable. I don't know. Try not to take too much out. All right, so we have all the potatoes on the pan and they're ready to put in the oven. The oven is at 475. I know that's high, but that's what the recipe calls for. We make our own homemade tea, just by the way. All right, you're gonna put it in the oven on the bottom rack. And you're gonna cook it in the oven for 45 minutes. I know it's a long time, but that's what's needed for it to be as it's supposed to be. All right, it's been 20 minutes into the cooking, and as you can see, the potatoes are basically frying in the butter and spices. And we're gonna take them out of the oven. We're gonna flip them over here on the counter. So we got them on the counter, and we're just gonna flip them over, just like so. Yeah, make sure the brown parts that have been on the bottom for the last 20 minutes are on top now. And we're gonna let the bottom parts cook. Oops. So yeah, you get the point. So we've come to the last preparation part before putting them in the oven and them being done. We're gonna add a little bit of chicken broth into this pan. So remember, not too much. It's not a very deep pan, so just keep that in mind. Just a little bit around all of them. All right, put a little more here. That's good. All right, we're gonna put this back in the oven and cook for another 20 minutes. All right, so the potatoes are out of the oven. We got them off the pan, and we put them on the main tray, and they're ready to be covered in the last bit of seasoning. Now, this is my personal taste. We're gonna put a little bit of shredded cheese on it, and of course the parsley, which comes with the main recipe. So we're gonna sprinkle some cheese right now. This is the last of it. I sprinkled just a little bit of cheese and the parsley. Still have a lot left over, but still. So yeah, this is what the final product looks like. The chicken outside is almost done. The mom and dad have been working on for almost an hour now. So this is done, and they will be done soon. And we will sit down and enjoy both in just a minute. All right, the final dishes have been completed, the chicken and my potatoes. And this is what it comes out to look like. With the chicken and potatoes all very good. Everyone else is also very good.
Very good. Very good. Mine's delicious.
Okay. All right, thank you all for joining another day of life and adventures of Ben, cooking with Ben today. Thank you all.